I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mackenzie, did you just change your hair for the next video? And yes, I did. But you know what? I didn't change my shirt because I'm not that petty. Hey guys, welcome back to video 6 of my Disney Adventure series. All of these views are mine, none of them are Disney's. So this is titled First Impressions, and I have a lot to cover, so let's get started. So when I first got in, they had a bunch of speakers come and talk to us, and I noticed something pretty quickly. I was different from the majority of the kids there. Maybe there were 3 people that felt the way I did. Handful of people who were like me. And I didn't realize that till after I came to this conclusion, but why am I keeping you in suspense? I'm gonna stop beating around the bush and just tell you. Okay, so there is a type of person called a Disney adult. And basically these are people who are obsessed with Disney, like infatuated. And let me just throw out a disclaimer, there's nothing wrong with those types of people or the fact that this was their dream and stuff like that. So I grew up liking Disney, but not loving it. And the fact that I'd never been to Disneyland or Disney World didn't really bother me. I thought, I'll probably get there one day, and if I don't, I don't know what I'm missing. I wasn't like in love with Disney. So all these kids that were coming there, and even the speakers themselves that were speaking to us were talking about how being a college program participant had been like their lifelong dream, and how all they wanted to do was work in Disneyland and make those magical moments for that one small child, like literally. And then they would ask questions, and they would ask people in the audience to raise their hand and be like, so why did you choose to do this? Oh my gosh, and some of the answers that people gave were so cheesy. They were like to the max cheesy. There were things like, I just want to learn and grow and better myself, there's nothing wrong with it. I have no problems with that. The only thing that I'm pointing out here is that there was a whole type of person there, and that was the majority of them.
And then there was like me.
And I specifically did not raise my hand when they were asking those types of questions because, if they had picked on me, what was I gonna say?
Oh, well, I'm actually here because I want to become a TV show host or someone in the entertainment industry, and I thought that this was just like, the best way to go about doing it because Disney is at the top, and so I thought I'd learn from the best and then move on with my life.
Yeah. Basically, I was different. So, the other mindset that I was coming to these speakers and like events where they were showing us videos about how amazing Disney was and like all the like incredible things that happened there and what Disney does for the world and not just what they put out in movies and stuff. I was coming to it all with a graduated business college mindset, and that was, this company is trying to sell themselves to me. And so they are like playing all of the emotion-provoking videos and having speakers from high up come and talk to us, but also just speakers who were super passionate about whatever job they did. And so the entire time I was just kind of like, okay, roses, rainbows, sprinkles, unicorns, where's the catch? And I kept asking that because no company is that good.
So I was sitting there waiting for the ball to drop, and it never did, and I was like, okay.
Guess I'm gonna see when I get out on the field and start working and stuff. But before I got into the parks, we had to go through this thing called Into the Magic, which is where they sit you down and they tell you all about the safety guidelines in Disneyland. Just all safety everywhere, anything safety related. And they basically take content that could be explained to you in about an hour and they stretch it out into 8 hours. It was indescribably patronizing. It was bizarre. I sat there, and for the first 15 minutes I was like, I cannot believe we're doing this, because they would go so in depth that it was like child knowledge.
They were like, okay, so when you move these boxes, make sure your arms are in the green zone, because if they're in the green zone, they will be safe. The green zone means that your elbows aren't like
and they told some percentage
away from your body and bent at a 90-degree angle, and they extend no further than the width of
your hips or something, I don't know. And then they were like,
now when you lift up, you make sure to bend your knees and squat.
And they had us all stand up, and we had to like practice this. So our leader was like, everyone stand up. So we stood up and everyone practiced bending over like the correct way. And then we practiced it the wrong way so we could see the difference. And I was done with that. And I'm kind of done talking about it. And this was just one part. It was about lifting and boxing and storage. Then there was like a part about chemicals. And then there was a part about entering parts of the park you'd never been in. And they had these like jingles and stuff that were like, if you haven't been here before, it's probably not a good idea to go in. And this is how the people acted in their videos. And a lot of it was just complete common sense. So I was like dying on the inside, and like, you know, I was just like, I gotta do something productive. I'm literally never getting this time back in my life. What should I do? So I came up with a grocery list. But that only took about 15 minutes. And so then I was sitting there again, bored out of my brains. And I looked at the girl who was teaching and I was like, how is she this peppy? Because our girl was actually like exuberant, like super vibrant and expressive and animated. She just had like so much energy. And I remember looking at her for a long time thinking, how does she have this much energy? It doesn't seem natural. There's something about it that seems fake. And I know it was fake because when the other leader started talking, she would be like, you know, and she'd like revert back into her regular face. And then when she was gonna talk, she would just like, so blah, 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 blah. And I thought, you know what? I bet you she got herself like a Starbucks and probably one of those like really tall ones this morning. And I had just thought that. And literally like 2 minutes later, she reaches behind the podium and brings out this super tall glass that had the Starbucks logo on it, and all of it had been drunk. And it was like 10 in the morning. So I was like, I'm so good. But then, you know, you can only play detective for so long in a room, and then you're pretty much done. So I finally realized what Disney was doing like halfway through all this, so like 4 hours later. And that was, Disney has been sued so many times. I can literally just see their executives like being in their office one day and their lawyer people on their suing team come in and be like, Mr. Executive, sir, it shows that we now have to shell out $40 million because we didn't label the word hot on the oven. So that's something to keep in mind, you know, next time we, like, you know, something stupid like that. And so the executives were probably like, all right, you want to sue us for common sense stuff? By golly, you're gonna get all of the teaching you deserve. And so commences an 8-hour day on extremely common sense type things. Anyway, realized halfway through that Disney has been sued so many times that they were like, we're just gonna cover our butts and go over everything. So yeah, those are my first impressions. Stay tuned for the next video.